Welcome back to the channel. Top 3. The UK 1917 one-penny coin is a fascinating piece of numismatic history, though it's not widely known for being among the most valuable coins. Coins from this era, particularly those minted during the reign of King George V, hold significant historical and collector value. The penny from 1917 features the iconic portrait of King George V on the obverse, designed by Bertram Mackennal, an acclaimed Australian sculptor. The reverse carries the classic image of Britannia, the symbolic representation of Britain, seated with her trident and shield. This design remained consistent for decades, but each year's minting carries its own unique quirks and variations that can dramatically affect its value. In the case of the 1917 penny, the rarity factor stems from both the historical context of World War I and any unique mint marks or errors associated with specific batches. Mint marks, small letters or symbols indicating where a coin was struck, can elevate a coin's desirability and value significantly. In 1917, most UK pennies were produced at the Royal Mint in London, which typically did not include mint marks. However, a small number of coins were reportedly minted in other locations, including the Heaton Mint in Birmingham, marked with an H, or other mints supporting the war effort. If a legitimate, verified 1917 UK penny with an unusual or undocumented mint mark surfaced, it could indeed fetch a fortune. The rarity of such a discovery, paired with the coin's historical significance, would create a frenzy among collectors and investors alike. The demand for rare, authenticated coins often transcends their base metal value, especially when they carry a compelling backstory connected to a pivotal moment in history. Coins from the early 20th century are often evaluated on multiple factors, including condition, rarity, and provenance. A pristine, uncirculated 1917 penny with a rare mint mark, or even an extraordinary error, could command an astronomical price at auction. Collectors and investors pay premiums for coins that are not only rare but also well-preserved, showcasing sharp details and original luster. Coins that have survived more than a century without heavy wear or damage are already remarkable, but when paired with a unique characteristic like an unusual mint mark, the price can skyrocket. In the rare coin market, such pieces often become the centerpiece of high-profile auctions, with bidding wars driving the final sale price into the millions. The concept of a coin instantly turning someone into a billionaire may sound like an exaggeration, but the right combination of factors, extreme rarity, historical importance, pristine condition, and market demand, can indeed yield life-changing sums. Coins like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle from the United States or the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar have sold for tens of millions of dollars. If a 1917 UK penny with a unique, authenticated mint mark were to surface, especially if it were the only known example, it could attract similar attention and bidding power. Wealthy collectors and museums often compete fiercely for one-of-a-kind numismatic treasures, driving prices to unprecedented heights. The numismatic world thrives on rarity and storytelling. A 1917 UK penny connected to a forgotten mint, a secret wartime production run, or a striking error would embody both. Such a coin wouldn't just be valuable for its material, the copper alloy, but for its ability to represent a moment lost to history. Collectors are drawn to the idea of owning a tangible piece of the past, something that transcends ordinary currency. In this sense, the hypothetical discovery of a one-of-a-kind 1917 penny with an unusual mint mark would be akin to unearthing a lost artifact, blending historical intrigue with financial potential. Authentication would be crucial, however. The numismatic market is rife with replicas and forgeries, and any coin claiming to be an ultra-rare variant would undergo rigorous examination. Experts would assess the metal composition, design details, and minting characteristics to ensure authenticity. Provenance, the documented history of the coin's ownership, would also play a vital role in determining its credibility and, ultimately, its market value. A coin without clear provenance might still hold value, but a verified, traceable history could push it into the stratosphere of collectible worth. Even without an unusual mint mark, a 1917 UK penny in top condition can fetch impressive sums. Coins graded as uncirculated by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC, which show no signs of wear and retain their original mint luster, are highly sought after. The price difference between a worn, circulated penny and a flawless, well-preserved specimen can be staggering. Serious collectors often pursue the best possible examples of any given coin, and the 1917 penny is no exception. The emotional pull of such a coin cannot be overlooked. Beyond its monetary value, a rare 1917 penny would embody the resilience of a nation during World War I, a time when Britain faced unprecedented challenges. It would stand as a silent witness to the struggles and triumphs of that era, transforming it from a mere object into a powerful symbol. This emotional connection fuels the passion of collectors, and when passion meets rarity, the results can be extraordinary. While the idea of becoming an overnight billionaire from a single coin might seem like a fantasy, it's rooted in the very real phenomenon of numismatic discoveries reshaping lives. The right coin under the right circumstances can command a price beyond imagination. If a genuine, never-before-seen 1917 UK penny with a unique mint mark were to emerge, it could indeed shatter records, not just for its monetary worth, but for the story it tells and the history it carries. The 1938 UK one-penny coin is a fascinating piece of numismatic history, though it is not widely known as a bicentennial coin. That term typically refers to coins celebrating a 200-year anniversary. Nevertheless, this particular coin, minted during the reign of King George VI, carries significant historical and collector value due to its rarity, condition, and unique attributes. Coins from this era are often sought after by collectors, especially those bearing unusual mint marks or striking errors that make them stand out from the standard issues. A 1938 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch impressive prices at auctions, particularly if it features any unique variations or a distinguished provenance. The value of a rare coin like the 1938 penny isn't solely determined by its age. A combination of factors, including the coin's metal composition, minting errors, historical context, and condition, contribute to its desirability. Coins from this period were made from bronze, which includes copper, tin, and zinc. Over time, the metal's natural patina can enhance the coin's visual appeal, making it even more attractive to collectors. Additionally, if the coin bears an uncommon mint mark, a small letter or symbol indicating where it was minted, this could exponentially increase its value. Some coins were produced in limited numbers or under special circumstances, leading to variants that are now considered priceless treasures. Collectors prize coins that remain in mint state, showing no signs of wear or handling. A 1938 UK penny in such a condition, especially if it has a rare mint mark, could command astronomical prices at auction. The combination of historical significance, rarity, and impeccable condition could push the coin's value into the realm of millions. In fact, certain rare pennies from other years have been known to achieve staggering sums, and a 1938 penny with the right attributes could certainly follow suit. The appeal isn't just in the physical coin, but also in the story it tells, a snapshot of the time period, the economy, and the people who once used it in everyday transactions. The historical context surrounding the 1938 penny adds to its allure. This was a time when Britain was on the brink of World War II, and the nation's economy and production were shifting toward wartime efforts. As a result, fewer coins were minted, and some minting processes were adjusted, leading to potential variations in the coins produced. Any anomalies from this period are highly sought after because they represent a tangible link to a turbulent and transformative era in British history. A collector or historian who owns such a piece holds a small, yet powerful, artifact from a world-changing moment in time. If a 1938 penny were to surface today with an exceptionally rare mint mark or an unusual minting error, it could indeed make headlines in the numismatic world. The discovery of a previously unknown variant could drive bidding wars among wealthy collectors and museums, potentially driving the price into the multi-million-pound range. The coin's value would not only stem from its scarcity, but also from the excitement and prestige of owning something truly unique. Coin auctions have a history of surprising results when exceptional pieces are presented to the public, and this coin would be no exception. The thrill of numismatics lies partly in the possibility of uncovering such hidden treasures. Many rare coins have been found in old collections, tucked away in drawers, or passed down through generations without anyone realizing their true value. A 1938 penny with rare characteristics could be one of those legendary discoveries, turning an ordinary individual into a millionaire or even a billionaire overnight. This dream fuels the passion of collectors and treasure hunters alike, always hoping to find the next great rarity in an unassuming pile of old coins. Beyond its monetary value, a rare 1938 penny holds immense historical and sentimental worth. It connects us to a bygone era, to the people who lived through it, and to the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint. The coin's design, featuring King George VI on the obverse and Britannia on the reverse, symbolizes both the monarchy's stability and Britain's enduring strength. Each scratch, patina, and detail tells a silent story of its journey through countless hands and decades. For collectors, this emotional and historical connection is often just as important as the financial reward. The market for rare coins is fueled by both seasoned collectors and wealthy investors looking for unique, tangible assets. In recent years, alternative investments like rare coins, stamps, and historical artifacts have gained popularity, with some high-net-worth individuals willing to pay unprecedented amounts to secure one-of-a-kind pieces. A rare 1938 penny, especially with an undiscovered mint mark or error, could easily become one of those sought-after prizes, attracting global attention and astronomical bids. Such a discovery could redefine the coin's market value, setting a new benchmark for future sales. Ultimately, while the idea of becoming a billionaire overnight from a single coin might sound like a fantasy, it's not entirely impossible in the world of numismatics. History has shown that extraordinary finds can lead to extraordinary wealth, especially when the coin is steeped in historical significance, rarity, and visual appeal. The 1938 UK penny, with its blend of history and potential rarity, could very well be one such gem, a small, humble piece of metal capable of reshaping the life of whoever discovers it. The 1963 UK 1 penny is an interesting coin for collectors, but it's important to clarify that there's no official bicentennial version of this coin. The United Kingdom didn't produce a bicentennial penny in 1963. That term is more commonly associated with American coins from 1976, celebrating 200 years of U.S. independence. However, the 1963 UK penny itself holds historical and numismatic value, especially if it has rare mint marks, errors, or unique features that make it stand out from regular circulation coins. Collectors often seek out such rarities, and in some cases, they can command extraordinary prices, though the idea of becoming a billionaire overnight from a 1963 UK penny is more of a myth than reality. Still, let's dive into the details of this coin's significance and potential value. The 1963 UK penny was part of the pre-decimal coinage system used in Britain before the country switched to decimal currency in 1971. It features the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, front side, designed by Mary Gillick, depicting the young queen without a crown, representing a fresh, optimistic post-war Britain. The reverse side showcases the classic image of Britannia, a symbol of the nation's strength and maritime power, holding a trident and shield. This design had been used on pennies for decades and was deeply associated with British identity. The coin was made from bronze, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, a blend that gave it a rich, reddish-brown color when freshly minted. Over time, exposure to the elements results in a natural patina, making older pennies appear darker or even greenish. One of the factors that can make a coin incredibly valuable is the presence of a minting error or unusual variation. In the case of the 1963 penny, any deviation from the standard design, such as a double strike, where the coin is struck twice, creating a ghostly overlapping image, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies, could raise its worth dramatically. Additionally, A rare mint mark, especially one denoting a special production or a test strike from a different mint, could boost its desirability among collectors. However, most 1963 UK pennies were struck at the Royal Mint in London and didn't carry a specific mint mark. The idea of a special, bicentennial version with a secret mark is more of a numismatic fantasy than a verified reality. That said, even without a mint mark, a 1963 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning it looks as fresh as the day it was struck, with no wear, scratches, or discoloration, could fetch a higher price than a worn, circulated coin. Collectors often grade coins on a scale from poor to mint state, MS, with MS 60 to MS 70 being the top tier. An MS 65 or higher 1963 penny, for example, might attract significant attention at an auction or from private collectors. It's worth noting that older British pennies, particularly from the Victorian or Edwardian eras, tend to command higher prices due to their age and relative scarcity, but that doesn't mean a flawless 1963 penny wouldn't hold appeal. The numismatic world is full of surprises, and demand plays a huge role in a coin's market value. If a specific 1963 penny were to gain notoriety, perhaps due to a unique backstory, an unusual error discovered decades later, or even a sudden rise in popularity driven by collectors' trends, its value could skyrocket. In extremely rare cases, coins once deemed ordinary have turned into prized possessions due to such unexpected circumstances. However, the concept of a 1963 UK penny making someone an overnight billionaire is more likely tied to misinformation or exaggeration than reality. Even the rarest and most sought-after coins in history, like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle, a U.S. gold coin, or the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar, are valued in the tens of millions, not billions. That being said, the sentimental and historical value of a 1963 UK penny should not be underestimated. It represents a time when Britain was still reshaping itself after World War II, with Queen Elizabeth II embodying a new era of leadership and hope. For those who appreciate history, holding such a coin can feel like touching a piece of the past, connecting to the millions of hands that may have used it for everyday transactions. From buying a newspaper to purchasing sweets from the local corner shop, this penny was part of daily British life, a small but enduring symbol of an era now long gone. If you happen to own a 1963 UK penny and are curious about its value, the best step is to have it professionally appraised by a numismatic expert or a reputable coin dealer. They can evaluate its condition, check for any rare features or errors, and give an accurate estimate of its market worth. Even if it doesn't turn out to be a life-changing fortune, the experience of learning about the coin's history and significance can be rewarding in itself. Collecting coins, after all, is often more about passion and preserving history than striking it rich. In the end, while the notion of a bicentennial, 1963 UK penny worth billions remains a fascinating urban legend, the true treasure lies in understanding the coin's place in the grand tapestry of British numismatic history. Each coin tells a story, from the artistry behind its design to the historical context of its time. Whether it's worth a few pounds or a small fortune, the value of such a piece often transcends money, offering a tangible link to the past that collectors and history enthusiasts alike can cherish for generations to come.